I'll call the meeting to order Thursday, April 7th, 2016. Mary Lou, you want to start the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I will now open the public hearing for the Bruscal Heights Drainage District. I'll make a motion to open it.
I'll second it.
Any public comment on that?
Good evening, Joe Kelley, 239 West Clove Mountain Road. The only comments I have are regarding the costs for the maintenance and operation of the district, and it was indicated in the public notice that there is no, I believe, no cost to the town outside of the district, but in the engineer's report, I think the costs were $5,625 annually were estimated, and the notice said that there was a detailed estimate, but I believe section 7 of the report just listed it and then divided it to get a per property charge per parcel. And I guess the questions I had or comments were it didn't indicate whether the estimate included basically the administrative costs to operate the district, including the inspections of the stormwater practices, which are annual, monthly, and after major storms, depending on the practice, and for the drainage district maintenance operator position that's mentioned in the report, how is that position funded, and how are the personnel costs covered for that? And is that a town charge or a charge to the district? And then other administrative costs such as the annual filing of the reports with the town board and the auditing requirements and financial reporting that's required to the state controller. Are they charged to the town, or is that specifically a charge to the district, and where is that covered in the annual maintenance charge that's listed in that estimate? Thank you.
Okay, Larry, our engineer, is here tonight, and he can answer any questions.
Okay, so the intention is that there'll be no cost to any residents outside of those people that are going to benefit from the district. So you're correct in saying that there is anticipated an annual charge of $5,000 some odd dollars. There is not a detailed breakdown in the report that you read, but there is a detailed breakdown in our files. Basically, for the inspections are included, the cleaning, the mowing, all of the physical and administrative items relative to the district are included in that. What's not included in there is the maintenance of what's within the road right of way, just as with any other subdivision. They're going to be their normal highway department maintenance items, and they'll be costs borne by the town. I have to say that I'll have to defer to maybe the town attorney or the town board if they know relative to the legal aspects of any reporting to state agencies and things like that. I would assume that they would be borne by the district. In developing the costs for the district, we felt that we had a good handle on where the cost should be, at least preliminarily. The costs at first, since everything's brand new, should be very low, so we'll be able to watch as things develop, and we do have the ability to adjust those costs as time goes on from year to year.
Are there any other comments from the residents? I have one question.
Sure.
I did go up and see the drainage and the road and everything. Are they going to put a fence around the holding pond? I just think that with the holding pond there.
The main basin in the back?
Yes.
Absolutely. that was part of the planning board approval. It's actually on the plans.
Oh, it does have
Yeah,
to
it'll
have a
be-
fence around it.
It'll be a split rail fence with wire backing so that children can't get through it. And that's something that we try to get all the applicants to incorporate into their designs just for safety features. The wire backing goes on the side, the back side of the fence, actually on the front side of the fence, so that children can't actually climb on the rails and go over. So, yeah, there will definitely be a fence. It should be attractive as well. The wire backing is a plastic coated, either black or green, so hopefully it has the tendency to disappear to the viewer that's any more than 100 feet or so away. But it's definitely protected
And when will this be installed, before we take it over?
before we take it over. Absolutely,
Okay, thank you.
absolutely.
Any other town board questions or comments?
So there will be wording in the actual contract or resolution maybe, that says if there's other costs that exceed this, they'll be billed back to the people that live within that district? You said something.
Yeah,
to
you're
that
asking
effect.
me a legal question, so I'm gonna say this with kind of an ear to our attorney here. My understanding is that the district, like any other district, has the ability to review its costs on an annual basis. And if the costs warrant an increase, then that increase can be provided. Likewise, if it appears that we're accumulating money that doesn't need to be, that the cost could be decreased. So,
Good evening. My office didn't create this district, but from experience, to answer your question, this taxing district, if created, will be subject to a public hearing every year. With the engineer's review, he will look at the analysis of what the budget was the year before and if it was sufficient. If it was sufficient, it could be proposed to be kept at the same level. If it was found to be deficient, the town board could, at the recommendation of the engineer, the highway superintendent could raise it. And there's times where it may decrease, saying that it's running smoothly, the maintenance isn't as arduous as expected, and maybe it should be decreased. But yeah, there is control, and all charges for the maintenance and any capital improvements should be borne by the district, not from any residents outside the district, other than the maintenance of items in the right-of-way, and like you said, in any subdivision, would be borne by the entire town because it's maintained by the highway department.
Anything else?
From my perspective, that pretty well covers it. I'll make a motion, we close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
I'd like to keep the public hearing open until the next meeting. This way, any residents can have 10 days to send in questions or concerns, and we can close it out at the next meeting.
Okay, I'll amend my motion to extend it till the next meeting, which would be the 21st of April.
21st of April. And any residents who have any questions or concerns that could not make it here tonight, they can email my office or Larry Podgy, and we will answer the questions by then. Okay. So we'll,
I'll second that, too.
Okay, what about this resolution with the determination to establish?
that will be next meeting, yeah.
We gonna
Okay.
vote?
We're gonna vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. So now we can open the floor for public comments and questions on agenda items only. Is there anyone?
People are aware that the public hearing notice was published in paper and was on the bulletin board
And on the website, yes.
Yep, I saw the bill from the Poughkeepsie Journal.
Just to be sure.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
Okay.
Good evening again. Just wanted to discuss a little bit the proposed rehabilitation of Meadow Ridge Lane. I think it was discussed that it's a $230,000 estimated cost. I guess Highway Superintendent isn't here, so I'll have to give him a copy of this as well. Just for background, I am a civil engineer by trade, and I've been a transportation engineer for more than 20 years, and also was the pavement management engineer for the Dutchess County Department of Public Works for several years. I am now in private consulting practice, but I did go out and look at Meadow Ridge, and I think the proposal was for a resurfacing of the roadway, including replacement of approximately 20 catch basins, 2,000 feet of pipe, and the culvert pipe that carries a stream underneath the road. And so just the first few pages are just photos that I had taken. There is photo 3. There is some embankment failure that seems to be caused by the alignment of the stream. That seems to be causing some road settlement at the culvert. But the culvert itself, if you look at photo 6, seems to be in excellent condition. There is one on the upstream end. There is looks like the top is dented, which when I looked at it, seems like it could be from the guide rail posts. There may have been an issue when that was installed because they couldn't get the proper depth on the post. And then the drainage basins themselves, I did look at each one. The interior is in, they're all in fairly good shape. And there is some, in photo 7, you can see some of the tops are deteriorated a bit, the concrete collar around the top slab, and that's probably due to the fact that some of these are set a little high, so they get hit by the plows, as well as the salt causing the spalling of the concrete. And then there is one catch basin that's adjacent to box 48, that there was a sinkhole outside of the basin to the north, and not too far from there, there's a broken stone trench, like a curtain drain, but there's no connection shown to that basin, so they may be related issues. But I did check just look at, did my own independent estimate, and for the $230,000, I think roughly 70,000 is blacktop, and then splitting up making some assumptions with the labor, it's about $100,000 for the drainage work, and then about $40,000 for the culvert work. And based on this was an hour out on the road, looking at the pipes, looking at the culvert pipe. This is less than 30 years old. I think it was, the filed map was 1988. Houses look like they were built around 1990. And the drainage system and the culvert seem to be in fairly good condition. So I guess the question or the concern I have is spending $230,000 on 4/10 of a mile of road that is a local subdivision road versus some of the other roads that we have in town that are in fairly poor condition. It's a question of really how the choice was made to spend this money this year at this location, and going forward, what are the choices? What are the roads upcoming that need work? But with a 45-mile road system, doing less than half a mile is it's going to take a long time to get to all the roads. So, and I'll give a copy to Superintendent Wisman when I put it in his box. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the board?
I'm curious, because I know that Mr. Wisman promised us he would be at this meeting when we said we would vote on it at the next meeting. So I think we need to make a motion to once again postpone it until he can be at the meeting to have a discussion.
What discussion do you want to have with Mr. Wisman?
I reached out to Larry Paggi, our town engineer. I did ask him, what kind of costs would go into an estimate. I explained to him sort of what I saw when I went out to see the road. And so he did give us an estimate of around $2,400 would be about what he would expect, but that's without knowing what he would see. There are definitely issues with the pipe, the swash pipe in the stream, because it's in a trout spawning stream, which already has an established stream bed, and it doesn't, visually, it's not, the words from Mr. Wisman are that he had to replace it because it was a rotten pipe. It is not rotten. So at this rate, if we vote to pave, which I think it could be resurfaced, don't get me wrong, but we don't have to put in a whole new drainage system unless he's saying the drainage system failed. If the drainage system failed, we need to find out why it failed so that we're not going back and replacing this again. So I think actually at a bargain rate of maximum $2,400, if what he's saying is true and the pipe is rotten and the drainage system has failed, we are only serving 18 homes out of 1,900 homes we have in the town. We're only serving 0.4 miles of 45 miles we have. At that actual rate, it would take us 112 and a half years to pave the town.
Okay, so this is the first 284 for this year. He will be putting another 284 in to do more road work. And the drainage has not failed. He is just replacing the existing pipe that is in the road because it is metal or steel and it rots, and the new way of doing everything is with the plastic pipes, and I think that's what he's doing.
The other thing is too, you can't see the bottoms of these pipes without doing a little exploratory work, and I'm sure that Rich has done this and discovered that the bottoms of these pipes are indeed, that's where they rot, on the bottom, where the water is. And I would be, pretty certain that Rich has done the testing to determine that that is the case here.
Sorry.
Well, I think public comment is over.
Oh, we moved on? Okay. I didn't know if we...
I know, we had an MS4 meeting, and I did speak to Richie and Larry about it, and Larry didn't feel it was necessary that he needed to go over this.
Well, from to kind of
Thank you.
To kind of go along with what Steve was saying, galvanized pipes have a tendency to degrade very quickly along their inverts, along the bottoms. And you're right, you can't see them if there's water flowing over there. So, and you make a very good point that if he's resurfacing the road and we've got a pipe in there that's of questionable integrity, I'm sure what the highway superintendent is thinking is, I don't want to put good money over top of bad. So, they're all good points. We can go out and do an inspection if you want. Richie has been doing this for a long time. I think he knows what he's looking at. I know he knows what he's looking at, but that's from what I know. I have not seen the pipes in Meadow Ridge, so I can't comment directly on them, whether or not they are in good or poor shape.
They're, what we said, 1990, this was probably?
Yeah, so 30 years.
So 30, yeah, that's about
What
the
he said, 88.
lifespan of a galvanized pipe.
For personal reference, I have, I installed a pipe in 1985 across my driveway, and it was galvanized. And it's got a stream, an intermittent stream that flows through it, and the bottom is in poor shape. So it's not uncommon. I don't know the situation out there. If we're talking about drainage pipes that are not normally underwater, if they're normally dry, if they're just picking up water when it rains, I'm not sure what's happening out there. The stream pipe, the stream crossing may be a different story. There may be a couple different issues happening out here. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry I can't offer more information, but
No, that's
just
fine.
kind of letting you, you know, every point that was made was accurate, I think, though. So galvanized pipes are
I don't think
are
we use
questionable.
galvanized pipe
We don't
anymore.
specify
I don't think anyone
galvanized
uses
anymore.
that anymore.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other? All right, so we'll move on to reports of supervisor and councilman. So Friday, March 18th, I joined the seniors in a lunch. It was a corned beef lunch prepared by our Parks and Recs department, Rob cooked. It was excellent. It was a good time, and the seniors were really happy. Monday, March 21st, we had the residents preparedness training. We had a full house. People were very happy. It was really great, and if anyone has an opportunity to go to any other town and join this, it's a really good thing to go. Tuesday, March 22nd, I had an MS4 meeting with George Kolb, Mike Ligori, Richard Wisman, and Larry Paggi. We're trying to get in compliance with the MS4. Wednesday, March 23rd, I met with Cricket Valley Energy. They updated me that they will be putting new antenna poles in. That won't come about until 2017, and we will have another meeting before then, and hopefully they'll come to a town board meeting and explain it to the residents. Monday, March 28th, people from Nimers came and gave a presentation. It's about insurance for municipalities. They took some information, and they'll be sending me a report that the town board can go over and see if it's worth looking at. Friday, April 1st, I met with Absolute Auctions, got photos taken and information, and all of our surplus equipment is now on the auction site. People are bidding on everything. We've gotten some pretty good bids, and that'll be open for, I think, another 10 days. I received a letter from Marcus Molinaro letting us know that we were turned down for the Community Development Block Grant for the handicap.
Oh, we finally got an answer on that? Because we
Yeah.
submitted that in October of last year.
And we were turned down.
Okay.
So, just wanted to let you know that. This past Tuesday, I went to the supervisor and mayor's meeting at Copperfields. There was a guest speaker from finance manager. They introduced Envision software for accounting, budgeting, payroll, and other modules. We also spoke about fire inspection, code enforcement, shared services, and salt bids. Other than that, I hope everyone had a happy Easter. And is there anyone else? And enjoyed the snow.
Yeah, I would like to give a report. I checked with our folks doing the construction of the new bridge on Route 55. As you know, it was supposed to commence the 22nd of March. There was some delay due to DEC approval, and also some work that Central Hudson had to do. It was rescheduled for early April. I checked, and they said now, because they're still waiting for Central Hudson to do some work, they expect the actual shutdown of Route 55 will be the week of April 25th. That's what they're expecting. There are signs that are not electrified yet, but there's some message signs that are in place. A few days before the actual shutdown, they will activate those signs and give specific dates, but figure the week of April 25th is when the bridge work will actually commence and the road will be shut down. Okay? Another thing I'd like to report on is that our recycling center has an experiment going on. Most people are very pleased with it. It's called single stream recycling.
no more sorting of recyclables, it all goes in the same bin or location down there. People are very pleased with it. I hope it works out because it's gonna save a lot of effort on our residents' part, and if it works out, it'll be done permanently. But right now, it's an experiment, and Tom St. Ange is evaluating it with our vendors and see how it works. So hopefully it's gonna be a win for everybody. One last quick thing, our fire company is putting on a ham dinner this Saturday, the 9th of April, up in Burbank, 4 to 7 p.m. It's takeout or dine-in. It's gonna be for the benefit of the fire
Buffet
company and auxiliary, so.
Buffet style.
Buffet style, yeah, so, anybody that can go to that 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock Burbank Firehouse, please go. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Any other?
Last Tuesday, I was able to go to a presentation. Ironically enough, one of the presenters is here in the audience. It was sent out to all the town board members. There was a lot of planning board members from different towns. Ironically, our town engineer that's here was also there. It was on green infrastructure, and coming into this, as most of you know, I'm a nurse, so I have a little learning curve on things, but it was highly enlightening, especially coming into compliance with MS4, talking about the district that the public hearing was on tonight. It was excellent. It was free of charge. I am amazed at how many great resources that are really out there with great speakers. So, you know, I was just really pleased that I could take part in it, and that so many things are offered that we can take advantage of and not have to travel or spend any money.
Thank you. Any, Dave?
Yeah, I went to a meeting last Thursday with Rob on remediation on the dam, you know, possibly getting grants for that. And I know Rob sent in the paperwork, so we'll hear back on that. But at the same time, they were also talking about culverts, so it might be something that we want to look into there, especially since one of the culverts we're talking about deals with a stream. So that might be something that we can help with. I also met with the constables Tuesday night. They had some suggestions. I'll talk to Rob about those at the park, and basically some more signage for parking, and reiterating that the park closes at dusk, and that we should be closing the gates at dusk too, unless there is something scheduled to go on in the park at that time, so that people understand that they have to be out of the park by the time it's dark. But the number of signs that we have down there now, and they're very confusing. There's an awful lot written on them. Basically, signs out there saying the park closes at dusk, and that there's no overnight parking, and that the gates will be closed at dusk. I think that was the gist of what we had going on.
Dave, if there's camping, when they have permission to camp down there.
That would be,
Right, that would be
that, you know, I mean, there are permits for that, but I
They
mean,
will
it's,
have permits.
we've had things, where people have gone in there, and a lot of times I have a feeling that they go down there, they park their car, and then they go off with somebody, and then they come back, gate's locked up. Or they're going back into the park and they're coming out and it's late. We don't know whether or not anybody's hurt in there, lost. So, you know, in the future, the sheriff's department will be called if there are cars in there after dark.
Okay. Steve?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, so we'll move to resolutions. Let's see. Okay, Dave, you want to read the resolution for the Arbor Day grant, please?
Sure, I met with those people at the Association of Towns meeting. Whereas the town of Unionville is applying for the New York State Urban Forestry Council for Arbor Day project grant to be located in Time Warp Park, a site located within the territorial jurisdiction of the town, of this town board. And whereas, as a requirement of these programs, Said applicant must obtain the approval endorsement of the governing body of the municipality in which the project is located. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby does approve and endorse the application of Robert Metz for the grant from the New York State Urban Forestry Council for an Arbor Day Program Community Grant Project and located within this community.
You have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Town board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Steve, will you read the resolution for the Highway 284?
Resolution authorizing application of Section Highway 284 highway funds. Whereas the Town of Unionville Highway Superintendent has recommended to the Town of Unionville Town Board the projects and roads that will be subject to Section 284 of the highway law monies levied and collected in the town for the repair and improvement of highways and received from the state for state aid for the repair and improvement of highways. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Unionville hereby approves the recommendation of the Town of Unionville Highway Superintendent the following projects and expenditures of the Section 284 Highway Law. The funds shall be expended as follows. General repairs, the sum of $100,000 shall be set aside to be expended for primary work and general repairs upon 40.45?
No, 45.
45 miles, 45 miles of town highways, including sluices, culverts, and bridges having span of less than 5 feet, and boardwalks or renewal thereof. Permanent improvements, the following sum shall be set aside to be expended for the permanent improvement of town highways. On the road commencing at Meadow Ridge and leading to Mark Way, a distance of .40 miles, there shall be expended not over the sum of $230,000. Type blacktop shim and overlay, width of traveled surface 25 feet, thickness 1.5 inches, subbase blacktop/gravel, as well as 20 basins, 2,000 feet of drainage, equipment rental. Item 4, 95 by 67 squash pipe, labor, etc. Requesting the adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly put to a vote on a roll call, which resulted as follows.
Second?
I think there's one correction that has to be made in there,
Inches to miles?
inches to miles.
I wrote you an email
I
to
read it
change
as
that.
miles. Yeah, I
Oh,
read
okay.
it
He
as
read it
miles.
as
Sorry.
miles.
I've changed it.
He read it properly.
All right, sorry.
Changed, yeah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Town board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed to section 2 on permanent improvements. I'm a yes on general repairs.
Okay.
So Corrina voted nay and everyone else voted aye.
Yes.
Okay. Corrina, would you like to make a motion to
For
approve
the
Mary Lou?
I'll make a motion to approve Mary Lou DeForest to make arrangements for
Did we,
shredding day? What?
Shredding day?
well, this now needs to be signed by everyone. That's
Oh,
part of
okay,
that.
well, we can do that after.
Okay.
Okay.
To make arrangements for shredding day on April 27th from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Town Hall.
I'll second that. Town board discussion?
I have a question, is that for the public as well to participate?
Yes.
Okay, so anybody that has shredding, bring it at that time?
Yes,
Okay,
and that they can actually, if they're on their way to the recycling center early, they can leave it on the front porch as long as it's bag boxed, and then it will be taken and put into the shredder.
good.
It's a service we've done.
Yeah, a
for
lot of people
years.
look forward to that.
Yes, we'll get it on the website. And I think we'll probably put a poster up over at the recycling center to let people know that.
Okay, and lastly, it's not on here, but I would like to make a motion that town board meetings from here on out will start at 7 instead of 7:30. And can I have a second?
A second.
Town board discussion?
Who seconded?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so now we have public comments on non-agenda items.
I know Lizette Hitzman, North Cove Road. I know John brought it up, but I'd like to emphasize that the fire company is having their ham dinner this year after skipping it for several years. And if you're free on Saturday from 4 to 7, it's a good buy, and they very much would like to see you there.
Thank you.
It's at Station 1 in Burbank on Route 82.
The 9th,
The 9th.
April 9th.
You shouldn't leave hungry.
I don't know that.
I have a piece of paper, but it won't be long, I promise. Hi, my name is Wanda Lavigny. I'm a resident of the town of Beekman. I work for the town of LaGrange, I know Boo has. And I'm here for something different. I'm here to say thank you. I have obviously an opportunity to go to the Beekman, use the Beekman rec facilities and the LaGrange rec facilities. And I've always chosen to come here. My 13-year-old twins are here. They grew up in this park, and I'm a little emotional because that's how important it is to us. Since first grade, they've been coming here for summer camp. They've been coming here for after-school program. And this is a tribute to Rob. He has created such a program here. I know of other programs. I know about Beekman. My kids could walk to Beekman. I choose to come here. It'd be convenient to drop them off at town hall and, go to work. I choose to come here, and it's because of the program that Rob offers. When my kids were little, we came to the Halloween parties, we did the Easter egg hunts, we did that all here. Wonderful. It's really been their second home, and I want to thank Rob. I also wanted to say that as I said, I'm not a resident, but we're kind of a regional community. Our kids go to school together. Our kids play sports together. A lot of times my kids have played baseball and soccer with residents of Unionvale. Never thought twice about it. The kids all know each other, and thanks to this park and thanks to Rob's program, they've had a chance to spend time together. I grew up in the city. I rode my bike around the block, to go see my friends. We don't have that opportunity up here. And it's just great that they have that time in a safe place, in a place I trust to bring them. And what else did I want to say? I also wanted to say, and oh no, it's on camera, we don't volunteer in the town of Beekman. I don't volunteer in the town of LaGrange. We volunteer our time here. Me and my kids have worked the Halloween parties once they got older. We're very happy and thrilled to entertain the residents of LaGrange with zombie costumes and whatever wonderfulness Rob comes up with. We came when the new playground went in. We volunteered on a Saturday to come here, me and my 2 kids. And that's because this place really means a lot to us. So I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thank you to Rob. It's tremendous what you've done here, and this is their second home. So thank you very much.
Any other public comments?
Good evening. My name is Mary Ann DeLeese, 33 Cooper Drive in Burbank. I have been coming up to my house here for the past 10 years. My late father-in-law owned it for 22 years. He lived there. And when he passed away, he left it to my husband and I. So we lived in Westchester, and we just permanently made this our residence last week. So I thought, what better way to get to know everyone who runs the town than to come to this meeting. I don't know how many comments I'm allowed to make on different issues, but I have a couple. I wanted to first thank the Highway Department for all the tree cutting work that they've done, particularly in our neighborhood. I don't know where else they've worked, but they've cut down quite a bit of trees on the right-of-ways that were leaning and dangerous. But I have a follow-up to that, is when do you think they might come back and do cleanup? I'm sorry, the superintendent isn't here tonight, but my question is, when will they do, you know, the cleanup of the limbs and whatever else is left?
You'll have to contact him directly, because we don't direct him. He's an elected official, and he works on his own.
Okay. I'll
Now,
do that.
are there just limbs, or are there?
There are
wood?
some
'Cause
stuff, you know.
Sometimes they leave them for the resident, because some residents burn wood, so sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they leave them on the side of the road, and the residents will come and take them to burn them at their homes. But you can definitely contact him
Okay.
and ask him to come and clean up the rest.
Okay. My second comment is about businesses in the town. I live on Cooper, which is right off of Tompkins, and at the entrance to Tompkins is the Burbank Deli, and across the street is the Mexican restaurant. In particular, the Burbank Deli has, they've had an American flag out in front many times. It's been tattered and torn. Until recently, I went into the deli and asked the owner's wife if she would please remove it. I think it was
Good.
just
Yeah, they
disgraceful.
shouldn't display it like that.
And my question, is there any law in town that prohibits businesses especially from flying an American flag that's tattered? I know
think
it's,
it's under level of patriotism. People should know better. I
I
would
agree.
contact the VFW if they're not responding to your request.
okay. I mean, she did. He went right out and, you know, he took it right down. But it wasn't the first time it was out there, you know. It was the first time I got up the courage to go in there and ask them to please take it down. So I was going to propose that maybe we ask the businesses, if you're going to fly a flag, please respect it.
Definitely, everybody.
Yeah, it shouldn't be limited to businesses.
Well,
that should
you
be
know,
everyone.
you
Yeah.
really don't have much control over private.
Well, we don't really have
Homeowners.
control over the businesses either in that respect, but you make a good point.
But also, as far as the litter on businesses, litter, you know, trash around the property, and especially a food establishment. I've, you know, raised this issue with the building inspector. So
Because there's a $500 fine in this town if you.
I've seen the
caught
sign,
littering.
and the problem is, who's enforcing it? If, you know, he also has these banners, tattered banners hanging over. One is about to hit Route 82, you know, any day now. So I don't
That
know
would come
who
under the
regulates
state
that.
DOT.
Okay,
That's considered a sign, and if it's in the right of way of the state, a highway, they have jurisdiction.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, so now we'll have a discussion of the next.
We got more.
Oh, we do, I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Ryan Lavigny, and I remember in first grade going to Rob's program. I remember the only one there was traditional. Over the last 7 or 8 years, I've seen it grow through. A few years ago, it got specialty. Now it has survival camp, which I am attending this year for a session. And I would just like to thank Rob for making this all possible. I hope to see other kids in the future for years to come.
Thank you. Anyone else?
First, thank you very much for all of those kind words. They are very much appreciated. And on behalf of Unionville Parks and Recreation, thank you for everything that you have also contributed to the department over the years. It's been wonderful to have you, and hopefully for many years to come. So the only thing I wanted to say, because we have a program going on tomorrow night, in addition to the thank you, is that tomorrow night from 6 to 8 o'clock at the main barns, we have Gala of Games going on. It's a free event for anyone to come, bring your family. It's not a drop-off program, so do not drop your kids off and leave. But please come, enjoy it. We're going to have our camp directors there, most of our camp directors there. So come if you've got questions about the camps and whatnot, you want to meet our directors, come on in and explore, play some games. We'll have games all over the building, and if the weather's nice, outside as well. So come, play, enjoy yourself, ask some questions from our directors, and if you don't have any questions about the camps, just come and play games. That's what it's for. So come and play with us and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so now we'll have discussion on the next meeting agenda items.
We have Liz Spira, who had contacted, she is from the Dutchess Community Action Partnership, to speak. I will contact her and let her know the meeting is changed to 7 instead of 7:30, because that's where we were at last time.
Steve, do you?
I am waiting to hear further
Okay.
from them on the LED conversion.
All right, let me know if they
Yeah,
can.
as soon as I hear something, it was delayed, the release of the program has been delayed by Central Hudson, I'm not sure why, or whether they've given another projection date on release.
Okay, Dave?
Okay, yeah, I'd like to start a budget advisory committee. I don't know if we need a motion or not. I'd like to see if there are people in the town that are interested in working on it. And working towards that, I'd like to get from the Office of the Controller. They will provide us with these booklets, Citizens Guide to Local Budgets, so that the people could see what they're getting into and what we have to go through to set up a budget. I think it would be a good educational process for them as well. Pat Courtney Strong from NYSERDA will be here at the next meeting too. I will notify her of the change in meeting time as well. There is also a highway academy that is being given up at Ithaca. Since there's a lot of discussion on the highway department, I know the cost of the academy itself isn't that much. It's from June 5th to June 8th.
I think Mr. Wisman and I both received paperwork.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if he's available to go to that. I think it's something that we should look into. They do this every year. It's sponsored by Cornell University and the State Controller's Office.
Okay. Do you want to make that motion for the Budget Advisory Committee?
Yeah, I'll make that motion for a Budget Advisory Committee if anybody wants to second it. We'll be starting on the budget at the end of August.
So we gotta get something together.
It's a good time now to start looking at our budget, to see what changes we might want to make and plan for the future.
Second it, I'm sorry, I feel like I was interrupting.
Town board discussion?
I just don't think that's a good idea. We have enough issues dealing with this amongst ourselves, instead of bringing in the public, you know. It's just, to me, I don't believe it's gonna be productive.
Yeah, I view us as the budget committee, this board.
Exactly.
I know, I just think that maybe there are
Right.
people
I
out
mean,
there that may.
I mean,
have
people
more
can come to meetings and make
experience.
suggestions
Yeah.
to our meetings, but, I mean, to have a committee set up
Well,
involved
it's an
with just the
advisory.
budget seems like overkill.
Well, many of the towns, many of the school boards do this.
And look
And
where the
they-
school boards are tax-wise.
Hmm?
Look where the school boards are tax-wise.
Well, that's true, but I mean, there were, you know, I mean, it's still a thing where I think it gives them, a little bit more of a public input. Some of these people could be public accountants, certified public accountants that might want to give us some ideas.
Oh, well, that might be beneficial.
We have a lot of, several people who are serving on the library steering committee are kind of caught up with what was going on with the library, but they're very financial people and they're very numbers people, which I have really appreciated sort of this, like, they can just, you know, what I learned with Common Core with my children is you can look at one math problem and there's 4 different ways to do it. We all have a way of doing it. So I think it certainly wouldn't be a committee who would take over our role. It would be a committee who
Who would
can
give
sort
us
of look at
suggestion.
numbers and have different ideas of putting those together, who could advise us on different ways of looking at things. I think is more, they certainly couldn't vote the budget in, they could only advise on how those numbers play out. I will also just, to your comment of the school board is, while we all may pay a lot in school taxes, my particular school district has met the tax cap since it was in place. And that's something that I feel Unionvale should strive to.
Any other town board comment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Okay.
Opposed.
Okay, our next town board meeting is scheduled for April 21st, 2016,
7 PM.
7 PM.
I also just want to say, I know it's been put out on every single venue we can possibly do, but the second meeting of the Library Steering Committee is next Thursday, and it's at 7:15 PM.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
So second it.